Have you ever felt like your life has a higher purpose, as if you were meant to stand up and speak the truth when others are silent? What if I told you that you were chosen not by chance but by divine design to bring justice into this world? Stay tuned, because today we're diving into your divine journey, a voyage filled with purpose, power, and responsibility. You are not just another person in the crowd. You are a chosen vessel for justice. Let's uncover why and how. Welcome back, everyone. In today's video, we're going to explore something truly profound: your divine calling to bring justice into the world. You may be asking, what does it mean to be chosen for justice? Or how do I know if this is my calling? Well, you're in the right place. Throughout this video, we will discuss how divine justice manifests in your life, what it truly means to be chosen for this role, and how you can embrace this journey with power, grace, and wisdom. We're also going to walk through some real-life scenarios that might just resonate with your own experiences. But first, let's set the stage and understand the purpose of this divine calling. 1. Understanding the divine calling to justice. Justice is a cornerstone of God's nature. As seen throughout the Bible, God is depicted as a righteous judge who not only upholds the law but also advocates for the vulnerable, defending the weak and oppressed. Psalm 82:3 is a powerful reminder of this. Defend the weak and the fatherless. Uphold the cause of the poor and oppressed. This verse emphasizes God's call for his people to engage in justice in a way that reflects his heart for the marginalized. When we talk about being chosen to bring justice, we're diving deeper than just seeking legal fairness. It's about aligning ourselves with God's desire to correct the wrongs of the world, to ensure that the unheard voices are finally listened to, and to actively pursue what is right. It goes beyond just following laws or social norms. It's about being a voice for the voiceless and actively championing causes that may not always be popular or easy. In your daily life, bringing justice might look different than you'd expect. It's not always about courtroom battles or high-profile activism. It could be the courage to speak out when others are silent, whether in a family setting, at work, or in social circles. Think about the individual who steps in when they see someone being unfairly treated. This could be someone speaking up in a meeting, when a colleague's ideas are dismissed, or even confronting discriminatory comments that others are too afraid to address. In fact, standing up against bullying is one of the most common and accessible examples of bringing justice into everyday life. Whether it's in school, at work, or online, someone who consistently defends others when they're being mistreated is living out justice in a tangible way. This active intervention, whether big or small, shows courage and integrity, choosing to fight for what is right, even when it might be uncomfortable. Being chosen to bring justice isn't always about grand gestures or public battles. Sometimes it's as simple as recognizing that you can be the change by defending those who need it most. It's about taking a stand, advocating for what's fair, and making sure justice flows in every area of life. 2. Signs you have been chosen. For this purpose, how can you tell if you've been chosen to bring justice? It's not always a title or a spotlight moment. Often it's a quiet, burning conviction that pushes you to stand for what's right, even when the world around you seems to be silent. Here are some signs that you might be chosen for this higher purpose. A deep sense of right and wrong. Imagine you're in a room where everyone is laughing at someone else's expense, while others brush it off as a harmless joke. You feel something in your gut telling you it's wrong. This feeling isn't just an opinion. It's a deep, unshakable moral compass. It's the kind of feeling that doesn't fade no matter the situation or who's around. When you're chosen to bring justice, you're gifted with this heightened sense of right and wrong. You can spot injustice from a mile away and feel compelled to act upon it. Empathy for the suffering. You might find yourself tearing up when you hear about someone suffering, even if it's not directly related to you. Whether it's the plight of the oppressed or the struggles of the underdog, you naturally feel a pull to help. This empathy often goes beyond just feeling bad for someone. It stirs you to take action. You're the kind of person who doesn't just walk by when others are hurting. You feel their pain deeply, and more often than not, you'll go out of your way to lend a hand or raise your voice for justice. And in the face of adversity, bringing justice isn't for the faint of heart. It often requires resilience and strength when the road gets tough. You might have already faced challenges that seemed insurmountable, but instead of breaking you, they only strengthened your resolve. Maybe it was standing up for what's right in your workplace when others stayed silent or confronting societal issues head-on. In moments of adversity, you didn't back down. You stood firm, driven by a greater purpose. These tests of strength often reveal that you're not only capable of bringing justice, but that you're uniquely suited for it. Picture a scenario where you work in an environment filled with unethical practices. Despite knowing the consequences, you take a stand, pushing for change, even if it means facing criticism or resistance. This isn't just bravery. It's a sign that you've been chosen to bring justice into that environment. It's a higher calling that drives you to speak the truth when others are afraid to do so. So if you resonate with these signs, a strong sense of morality, an empathic heart, and unyielding strength in adversity, it could very well be a sign that you're chosen to bring justice into the world. Embrace it. 3. Embracing your divine role. So you've been chosen. Now what? It's time to embrace your divine calling and move forward with purpose. As someone who has been selected for a greater mission, you have a responsibility to not only understand your role but to act on it. Here are the steps you can take to fulfill this divine purpose. Seek divine wisdom, the first step to moving forward. With purpose is to gain clarity. How can you act justly in your life? Prayer, meditation, and reflection on Scripture are powerful tools to help you find that clarity. Proverbs 2:6 reminds us, "For the Lord gives wisdom. From his mouth come knowledge and understanding." This divine wisdom will guide you to make decisions that align with a higher purpose. In times of confusion or doubt, trust that God's guidance will always lead you toward the right path. Seek it earnestly, and you will not be disappointed. Stand boldly for the truth. Justice often requires great courage. It's easy to stay silent when the truth is inconvenient, but that's not what you've been chosen for. Whether you're dealing with a small disagreement or confronting a large societal issue, standing up for what's right is non-negotiable. The truth may be uncomfortable, but it is always worth fighting for. Imagine being in a situation where you're surrounded by others who accept a lie or injustice. It takes bravery to step out and speak the truth, but it's essential to make an impact. Remember, your role is not to blend in with the crowd, but to stand boldly for what is right. Even when it's hard, make an impact with your actions. Talking about justice is one thing, but acting on it is something entirely different. As someone chosen for this divine purpose, you are called to make a tangible difference. Your actions speak louder than words. Look for opportunities to serve those who need it most. Whether through volunteering, standing up against injustice, or simply offering support to someone in need. Consider a workplace scenario where you witness a colleague being treated unfairly based on their race or gender. It's uncomfortable, and it may seem like no one else is paying attention, but you are. This is your moment to make a difference. You might start by offering private support to your colleague or speaking with someone in authority about the issue. In doing so, you take a stand for justice, even if it feels like a small act. Small actions, after all, lead to greater changes. In summary, embracing your divine calling is about seeking wisdom, standing up for truth, and taking action. With each step, you make an impact that reflects the purpose you were chosen for. Keep moving forward with faith and courage, and you'll see the transformation unfold. 4. The power of your divine journey when you're called to bring justice. It's not just about one monumental act. It's about contributing to a much larger divine narrative. Each act, whether small or significant, is like a thread woven into the intricate tapestry of history, a part of a divine plan that unfolds over time. These acts of justice create ripples that extend far beyond your immediate circle, reaching places and people you may never even meet. The impact is cumulative, each action building on the last, with the potential to influence generations to come. Consider the inspiring story of Nelson Mandela, a man whose name has become synonymous with justice. His dedication to fighting racial injustice in South Africa didn't begin with the headlines or his 27 years of imprisonment. It started with small, courageous acts of defiance against an oppressive system. Mandela began his activism as a young lawyer, helping Black South Africans fight for their rights in a society that denied them basic freedoms. At that stage, it was just one person standing up for what was right. But as his journey progressed, his commitment to justice became a beacon, drawing in countless others. Mandela's fight wasn't just about challenging an unjust government. It was about standing in solidarity with the marginalized, showing them that their voices mattered. This wasn't a one-time event, but a series of moments, choices, and sacrifices that added up over decades. His imprisonment, though tragic, was not the end of his story. It was a turning point in a larger divine narrative of justice. His release and subsequent rise to the presidency marked the culmination of years of sacrifice, and his work laid the foundation for a new era of reconciliation and equality. The key takeaway here is that justice is a continuous process. Like Mandela, each of us is called to take action, whether big or small, in the pursuit of justice. You may not immediately see the outcome, but every step you take contributes to a greater purpose. Whether it's speaking up for someone who's been silenced, challenging a wrong in your community, or standing against injustice at a global scale, these acts of justice form part of a larger, divine plan that moves beyond you. In this way, we're all participants in a much grander narrative, where each act of justice creates a ripple effect, inspiring others to take a stand, and ultimately, shifting the course of history. The connection between justice and mercy, one of the most profound aspects of divine justice, is its delicate balance with mercy. As chosen vessels of justice, our role isn't to condemn but to offer a pathway to restoration. This concept of divine justice, as presented in the Bible, highlights not just the righteousness of God, but his deep compassion for humanity's imperfections. The prophet Micah encapsulates this beautifully in Micah 6:8, where it says, "He has shown you, O mortal, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you? To act justly and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God." This verse calls us to embody a justice that doesn't just demand payment for wrongs, but extends the possibility of grace. In our daily lives, we often face moments where we must choose between justice and mercy, and sometimes mercy becomes the more powerful tool for transformation. Think about the times you've been hurt or wronged. When someone betrayed your trust or caused you, the natural instinct may be to demand justice, to see them suffer for their wrongs. But divine justice challenges us to reflect deeper, to see the bigger picture, and to recognize that the heart of justice isn't just about punishment, but about redemption. When you extend mercy, especially when it's undeserved, it has the power to break down walls of anger, resentment, and hatred. It can soften hardened hearts, fostering reconciliation and healing. In those moments, you're not just offering forgiveness, you're creating a space for change. This act of mercy becomes a reflection of God's grace and can lead to profound transformations, both in the lives of others and within yourself. This balance between justice and mercy is a key aspect of divine wisdom. Justice upholds what is right, ensuring that wrongdoings are acknowledged, but mercy offers hope and the possibility for change. Both are necessary in the healing process. When we choose mercy, we walk in alignment with God's example. He is just, but he is also merciful, always giving his people another chance to turn their hearts back to him. So next time you face a situation where you could either punish or show mercy, remember that the most powerful form of justice is often the one that opens the door to healing, reconciliation, and transformation. Just as God has shown mercy to us, we are called to extend it to others, balancing justice with love and compassion. 6. Overcoming fear and doubt. Fear is one of the most powerful forces that can hinder us from fulfilling our divine calling, especially when it comes to pursuing justice. Whether it's the fear of failure, backlash, or being misunderstood, it often feels like an insurmountable wall blocking our path. But the Bible offers us a refreshing perspective in 2 Timothy 1:7. "For God gave us a spirit not of fear, but of power, love, and self-control." This verse is a profound reminder that fear does not define us. It is not part of the spirit God has given us. When we feel fear creeping in, we must remember that it is not a sign of weakness, but a sign that we are stepping into a role of great significance. Think of it this way: the very fear you experience may be an indication that you are walking in your divine purpose. It's a confirmation that you are on the right path, because fear often rises when we are about to make a powerful impact. Fear shows up when we are on the verge of something transformational, not just for ourselves, but for others. God's gift to us isn't a spirit of timidity, but of power. This divine power enables us to take action even when the odds seem overwhelming. God also equips us with love, the strength to act with compassion and justice even in the face of adversity. And self-control is the third aspect of the spirit God grants us, helping us to stay focused, make wise decisions, and remain resilient in the face of challenges. Each time you push past fear and choose to act justly, you not only honor God but also grow stronger in your purpose. The courage to move forward despite the fear develops your spiritual muscles. Every obstacle you overcome refines your character and strengthens your resolve. In fact, the fear that you face today could be the very thing that propels you into your destiny tomorrow. It is a tool in God's hands, shaping you into the person capable of carrying out the justice you are called to bring. So the next time fear tries to hold you back, take heart. Trust in the power, love, and self-control that God has given you. Fear may try to paralyze you, but with faith, it will become the driving force that propels you forward. Every step taken in courage brings you closer to the fulfillment of your divine calling. 7. The ripple effect of your actions, just like a pebble thrown into a pond, creates ripples that stretch far and wide. Your acts of justice have the power to create a ripple effect that touches lives in ways you may never fully understand. When you stand up, speak out, or defend those who cannot defend themselves, your courage doesn't just affect the immediate situation. It sparks a movement. These actions may feel small or insignificant in the moment, but the impact of justice grows exponentially over time. Consider the remarkable story of Rosa Parks. In 1955, Parks was a 42-year-old seamstress, tired after a long day of work, sitting in the colored section of a bus in Montgomery, Alabama. When a white man demanded her seat, she refused, not because of any grand expectation, but because she was simply tired of the injustice. This one simple act of defiance was not just a personal protest. It ignited the Montgomery bus boycott, a pivotal moment in the civil rights movement. Rosa Parks' courage gave others the strength to speak out, leading to nationwide protests and ultimately helping dismantle racial segregation. Her act of justice, though seemingly small in its singularity, led to a collective awakening, a ripple that became a tidal wave of change. It's crucial to understand that, much like Parks, the justice we fight for may start in small, everyday moments. Maybe it's standing up against an unjust comment or supporting someone who's been marginalized. These actions may seem quiet, but their influence can echo through the lives of those who witness them. We don't always see the immediate consequences of our decisions, and that's okay. In fact, the ripple effect often grows more powerful over time. Think of the countless stories of people being inspired by leaders, advocates, or ordinary citizens who simply did what was right. Whether that's through activism, kindness, or courage in adversity, a single righteous act. Whether it's standing up for a coworker, voting for justice, or even helping someone in need, has the power to inspire an entire community. So remember this. Just like the pebble, your courage can create ripples that reach further than you ever imagined. A single righteous act can start a revolution, changing lives and inspiring others to join the movement. Your voice and actions matter. Don't underestimate the power they have to transform the world around you. 8. Trusting in God's timing. Bringing justice doesn't always happen on your schedule. There are moments when you take bold, courageous actions, yet the change you desire doesn't come immediately. It's during these times that trusting in God's timing becomes essential. Ecclesiastes 3:1 beautifully reminds us, there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. This verse speaks to the natural order of life, affirming that everything has its appointed moment, even when it feels like nothing is moving forward. Sometimes justice feels delayed. You might speak out, take a stand, or fight for what's right, but the immediate results seem elusive. This can be incredibly frustrating, especially when your heart aches for resolution. Yet God's timing is always perfect. It's a reminder that our understanding of what now means is limited. We often want things to happen in our time, but God's view is infinitely broader. He sees the bigger picture, knowing that the timing must align not only with our needs but with His perfect plan for justice. This is where persistence plays a vital role. When the road seems long and the wait feels endless, it's easy to grow weary. However, persistence is the hallmark of faith. It's about staying true to your calling, even when results aren't immediately visible. Every day you choose to live justly, to speak up for what is right, and to act with integrity. You're laying the foundation for God's justice to unfold in ways that you may not even see in the present. Trusting that God is working behind the scenes can provide a profound sense of peace during uncertain times. Just because justice hasn't arrived yet doesn't mean it won't. God is never inactive. He is always moving in the background, orchestrating circumstances and preparing hearts. In the end, your role is to remain faithful to your calling. Keep speaking truth, keep standing for justice, and continue doing good. Even in moments of seeming silence, trust that God is working in ways you cannot yet comprehend. A time for justice will come, and when it does, it will be in the fullness of God's perfect timing. Keep the faith, and remember, persistence in doing good is never in vain. To wrap it all up, your divine journey to bring justice is a powerful, transformative calling. It's not just about righting wrongs in the world, but about understanding mercy, overcoming fear, and trusting in God's timing. Your actions, no matter how small, have the potential to create ripples that can change lives, communities, and even nations. You have been chosen for such a time as this, and your role as a bringer of justice will leave a lasting impact. Stand firm, be courageous, and remember, your justice is a divine calling. Thank you for joining me on this divine voyage. If you feel called to embrace your purpose and take action for justice, hit that subscribe button and share this message with others who need to hear it. Having said this, let's continue to walk boldly in the divine path of justice.